over here waking them up this early in the morning because he's had a bad dream. Bad dreams that he's been having since we placed a child in foster care, and the parents neglected him so much so that
he died, and Patty and I both missed it.
And you upset that he coming over here? Honey, let me explain something to you. Y'all put a child in foster care, took him out of one place and put him in another, and the child died? And you upset because he is upset that he having bad dreams and he worried? He doing the right thing. See, the job that you do, I know a lot of y'all overwhelmed dealing with a lot of stuff with these children, all this stuff, because I don't even know why all these parents having the kids and then can't take care of them. If you can't take care of them, stop having them. But since they do, it is up to people like y'all to make sure that they take care of. We pay all our taxes and stuff for y'all to be there and doing the right thing. For y'all to go up in there and do the right thing, you got to be more than just doing a job, honey. These are children's lives. You can't just go up in there and do it just because you got a degree and you need a little money. You need to go up in there and do it for the right reasons. These are human beings. And if the man is telling you that it's his spirit that is troubled by it, then that's what you need to be too. Watch and learn something, Cora Lights. Watch and learn something.
Guys, what is going on?
Honey, tell her. Tell these people.
Why? They don't care about us.
That ain't true, honey. Tell them. And if you run up on somebody that you tell and they don't care, tell somebody else. And then tell somebody else. Eventually, you're gonna run up on somebody that care, honey. Keep telling people. Keep reaching out for people to be there to help you. There's somebody that God will send to help you.
All I did was put them on punishment.
Girl.
Yeah, no, I put them on punishment, but that's what's wrong with children these days. Shut up
that foolishness right now. There is a difference. Hear me good when I say this. Between punishing a child and doing what the hell you're doing, that is abuse. You have to know where the line is. Learn the difference, honey.
I was just trying to help these children.
How the hell are you helping them? By talking to them like they're a dog and beating them and doing all that other stuff?
I put a roof over their heads when didn't nobody else want them lately.
You know what? You crazy as hell. You sound like some of these stupid parents think just because they give their child a roof over their head that they can dog them out, talk to them, do anything they want to do to them. That is crazy as hell, honey. You got to be careful with these children. Let me try to make you understand this in a way that maybe I can explain it in cray-cray. You gotta watch the children that's been neglected and outcast and given up on and thrown away and left to die and left for nothing. Watch out for those kind of children, because that's usually where God will put the blessing in those kind of children. Do you understand? When Jesus came to this earth, he came in a manger. He didn't come in a mansion. Do you hear me? That was to teach you something. Watch out for the lowest of them, the littlest of them, whatever the Bible say in Deuteronomy. It say, watch out for them.
You don't know me, okay? You don't even know what I've been through.
Whatever the hell you've been through don't give you the right to pass your pain on to nobody else, honey. Especially no child. Somebody got to stop it, honey. Somebody got to say, this is enough.
Look, I was in foster care just like they were, okay?
You think that make it okay? That makes it worse, girl.
You can't judge me, lady.
Oh, I'm not gonna judge you. I'm gonna let the judge judge you. That makes it worse. You done been where they are and you gonna treat them like that?
Yeah.
That's crazy as hell. Anytime somebody done been, let me tell you something, I would rather you leave me out on the street in the cold than to bring me up in your house and treat me like I'm nothing.
I didn't mean to hurt them, okay?
Stop that lying. I can see it all in your attitude. You meant to do just what the hell you meant to do.
Look, I was beaten. I was raped so many times I can't even remember, okay? Somebody talked about me and said I wasn't gonna be nothing my entire life.
And how did that make you feel when it happened? Did it make you feel good? Make you feel like you were worth something?
No.
When they talked to you like a dog, did that tear your self-esteem down?
Yes, ma'am, it did.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. What the hell you think you're doing to these children?
Right.
You think just because they children you can talk to them any kind of way? Let me tell you something. When you are raising a child, you give them a bag to pack. Everything you do, you put something in that bag. It's like giving them a lunch and sending them off to school, but the bag you packing is for their lifetime. So everything you give them, they will carry for life. Do you hear me? What you giving your child, honey? What are you putting in the bag? I hope you're supposed to be putting love and faith and peace and temperance and all that stuff in it. But what you're doing is giving them hell to carry. So when they get grown, all they got is a bunch of bags that they can't do nothing with. Don't nobody want to be bothered with them. Don't nobody want to be around them because of what you done gave them. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. There's a pathology that you are passing down from generation to generation. It's got to stop somewhere. Who's gonna stop it if you don't stop it? Listen to me, honey. You got to be careful with the ones that you deliver that'll come up into your house.
Yeah.
Because the very one that you deliver, you'll turn around and need them to deliver you.
Okay.
Apologize. That's what you.
Okay.
Apologize.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Only 'cause you're going to jail?
Don't worry about that, honey. Sometimes people apologize, they don't even mean it, but you take it where you can get it. It may not mean nothing to you right now, but eventually you will see.
I was just saying that I was surprised to have a prisoner working here.
You see, that's what's wrong, people. Y'all don't give folks a chance to get back in society after they've done something wrong and went to jail. You need to give them a chance to get a job and get back up on their feet. Your favorite. Honey, you can't have no favorites with your children. Because the very one you put all your faith and hope in will be the one to hurt you and let you down the most. I'm telling you now.
Well, I love all my children equally, but that Rebecca, she been out there in the streets doing some of everything.
And she fell out of favor with you? Glad you ain't God. Honey, children are individuals. See, that's when parents make their mistake. They think just because they give their child the exact same thing, the exact same amount of love, the exact same everything, they're going to turn out the exact same way. Children are individuals. They have their own individual experiences. You are not their only influences on this earth. Do you understand? That's why you have to find out which is the best way to get the best results out of your child. Per child gets a different result. Do you understand? Each child needs their own different result. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Well, let me break it down for you if you don't understand. One of your children, you may have just say, you know what, just sit there and don't move. That child will just sit there all day long and not move. The other child, you got to say, if you move, I'm going to break your neck, your knuckles, your finger, your throat, and choke you half to death.
Yep.
But the child don't move.
That's right.
So both children didn't move. You got the result you wanted from both of them,
That's
but you
right.
had to go about it in different directions.
That's
Do you
right.
understand? That's all I'm saying. Don't tell me you're one of them parents that believe anything your child say anytime they say it, however they say it. Oh, I can't stand parents like that. They don't go and verify nothing. They just believe what their child say. See, I believe in trust, but verify. Do you hear me? Because just because it's your child, they are capable of making mistakes. That's why you have to get all the information before you go run to their defense. I know somebody like this now. The principal called and said the child did it. The school teacher called and said the child did it. The janitor called, say the child did it. The bus driver called, say the child did it. Homeless man on the street found a phone and called and said the child did it. A chihuahua was walking past and he did it, he did it, he did it. And she didn't believe nothing. And when you do that to a child, you are setting yourself up for failure because you're going to find yourself when that child grow up on the witness stand, sitting there trying to convince 12 members of his peers that he did not commit the crime, that you believe he did not do it. Do you hear what I'm telling you, honey?
You're right.
I know it. I know. This is what you got to understand about children, honey. Hear me clearly when I say this. You cannot do that to a child. You cannot empower a child that way. Find out the truth first. Do you hear what I'm telling you? Yeah. That's why I look at all these parents. You can't do that to a child. That is crippling. Like all these parents that give their child everything they ask for. That is the worst thing you can do for a child is to give them everything they ask for. And I know what it is. You feel guilty. See, a lot of parents feel guilty because the child went through something. You wasn't there. You were supposed to be there. You were working. You had to do this. To hell with that. The Bible gave you one commandment. Be fruitful and multiply. The rest of it is on the damn child to figure out what they are going to do. But what I'm saying is this, when you do that to a child, you cripple them, you handicap them by giving them everything they want. They don't know what it's like in the real world. I remember Cora came home one day talking about she wanted $5 because the neighbor had given her daughter $5. Well, she's a single mama, she gave her $5. I said, I don't care, you my child. I don't care what's happening next door, this is what goes on in this house. If you want anything in this house, you got to work for it.
That's right.
She said, that's fine, I'll just do what I got to do. I just need the $5 because I want to go buy me some toys. Okay, fine. What I need to do, go wash the dishes. Okay, great. She washed the dishes, she come back in there with a hand out for the $5. I say, baby, it don't work that way. You don't just get it just because you asked for it. Now you got to go clean the closet. So she cleaned that closet up all night long. Next morning, she said, I get my $5 now? No, baby, you don't get it yet. When you get home, you still got more chores to do. I need you to wash some clothes. When you come up here, you're going to clean that oven. So she came back, she washed clothes, clean. Can I have my $5? No, baby, can't have it yet. This went on Monday, this went on Tuesday. By Wednesday, she had cut the grass, mowed the lawn, changed the lawnmower. By Thursday, she had washed the car and changed my oil. You understand? And by Friday, she was so tired, she said, I don't even want the money now. I don't even want it. I said, no, baby, that's how I work in the real world. You don't work like a dog, and by Friday, it's payday, so here it is. So I'm gonna make you work like a dog.
That's right.
And then I'm gonna dangle a little carrot in front of you on Friday so you'll come back on Monday. So here's your money on Friday. And she said, thank you. Then she went to count it. It was $3.18. She said, I asked for $5. I said, well, hell, I took taxes out of it. That's how it is in the real world. That's what I'm saying. That's what children need to know, honey. That's what children need. That's what children need to understand. They need to know the value of $1. Just because you have it to give it to them don't mean that they should have it. Do you understand?
You're right.
Because you do that to them as children. When they grow up, they have no sense of nothing. They leave your house and go get married to somebody. They think that that man or that woman's supposed to give them everything that mama or daddy did. That ain't the real world. You want something, you got to go your ass to work. That's how it works around here. You hear me?
That's right.
Because it's crazy. I just look at these people, grown folks, grown 40-year-olds sitting there counting on mama and daddy and all that stuff. That is crazy. You cannot empower a child to that much. Everybody on this earth, let me tell you something about guilt. Guilt will mess you up and your child. You can't let guilt rule how you raise. Because you'll find yourself doing things you ain't supposed to. God has designed a midnight for everybody on this earth to go through. He has designed it. He didn't make it happen, but he allows it to happen, all right? And the reason for that midnight for you to go through it is not to destroy you. It is to make you stronger and make you better. Do you understand? So you're not supposed to despise it. You're just supposed to walk on through it. Now, if God has designed a midnight for your child as much as you love your child, and you come running there rescuing every time they go through something, you there to see them through it, then you are not helping them at all. You are blocking the thing that God has set up for them to make them stronger. I don't think you're following me.
I'm following you.
Let me break it down to you this way. If God has designed something for them to go through that's going to make them stronger, and every time they go through it, they can come to you and get it, then what do they need God for? You become their God. Do you understand? And what you need to know about him, he's a jealous God, and he will have no other God before him. Do you hear me? I know it hurts to have your child go through something. I know it's tough. I know it's hard to watch them go through. But, honey, you have to let them bump their head every now and then so that they can become full-grown adults who know how to handle anything, who can stand up on their feet. Your job is not to keep them from the cradle to the grave. Your job is to keep them from the cradle, let them grow up and figure out how the hell they're going to get to the grave themselves. Do you understand?
I never thought about it like that.
You ain't been thinking about much, is all I'm going to tell you. Do you understand what I'm saying? You got to let your children grow up. And as long as I'm on this subject, I'm going to say this because I think it just needs to be said.
What?
All of y'all who got these grown children living in your house, I got 4 words for you. Put that ass out. I don't understand that. Now, I'm not talking about all of them, because see, that's what, listen, if you're going through something and you have a little financial trouble, or you're going through a divorce, or things are tough right now, you need to go home for a while, that's what family is for.
That's right.
To be there for you, for a little while. For a little while. Yeah, because when you come back to my house, I'm like a landlord. I want a move-in date, and I want to move the hell out date, too. And don't come up in there talking about you need a week when you know you need 6 months trying to fool me. Because if you tell me you need a week on the 7th day, I'm arrested. And on the 8th day, I'm going to pack you the hell up out of there, is all I'm saying. You understand what I'm telling you?
I understand, Miss
Because the
Simmons.
thing about it is this. I'm not talking about them children. I'm talking about them 40-year-olds that's living in your basement.
Yes.
Talking about, mama, can I borrow your car? Hell no, you can't borrow my car. You 40 years old.
That's right.
But a lot of parents don't empower them. Then they wonder why all the other grown children are mad, because you got the same child keep coming back to the house over and over again. These supposed to be the best years of your life, and you letting this child come in and ruin that moment for you. That's crazy as hell. I don't understand. Right. Put them out. Put them out. It's like an eagle.
Huh.
You know what an eagle do? I love nature. See, God teaches us through nature. This is what an eagle do. When the boy eagle have a little chickies, eagle make a nest out of thorns.
Why you do that?
Yeah, so when the babies come, they take the feathers and they put it down on top of the thorns so they're comfortable. So when the babies come, they so comfortable. But when the babies stay too long, the eagle fans the feathers. All that's left in the nest is thorns. So no matter which way the little eagle in there go, they can't get comfortable. And if they still won't leave, she take them and she throw them out the nest.
What?
Yes, she do. And watch them. They be flapping and flapping. Then right before they hit the ground, she go there and swoop down, pick them up, and bring them back up. You understand? Did she take back up? Do she go in there and put some more feathers? Hell no. You know what she do? She kick them out again. And they go to flapping and flapping, flapping. She run down and catch. By the third time she do that, they flying on their own. Do you understand? Sometime, honey, you just got to make it uncomfortable for your child to get the hell up out of your house. Take the feathers out the nest. Start with the television and work your way to the PlayStation. Now it all makes sense. Man, break your heart, you get mad at God. Honey, you can't compare God to man. Any man, any woman, any human being on this earth is capable of breaking your heart no matter how much they love you, because we all human, we all make mistakes. Do you understand? So you can't blame God on that. You can't go running out of the church because a man hurt you. If you do that, you'll never find peace. Do you hear me? You got to know God for God and man for man. He's not a man that he should lie. Do you understand?
I mean, I hear you, but I couldn't go back into that church.
Why?
I mean, I know I was wrong. I take responsibility for that. But those people in that church judged me. I couldn't go back in there.
Yeah, that bothers me about a lot of churches, honey. A lot of folk in church, they quick to forget, so quick to forget where they come from. Like they always had it together. Like they can't remember 4 or 5 years ago when they were struggling trying to get through something. That's what bothers me. People come into church and they hurting and they broken, then they leave there even more hurt because they came to the church looking for help, and somebody up in there done made them so upset and worse than what they were. But this is what you need to understand about the church, honey. The church is just like a hospital. When people go to the hospital, see, this is why people have their misconception. This is why you mess up, because you think church is supposed to be this perfect place. It's not. The church is a place for people who need something. Like the hospital. If you have a cold, you go to the hospital. You need surgery, you go to the hospital. There are departments for everything. If you're in an emergency, you go to the emergency room. If you're in intensive care, you go to ICU. All of that is in a hospital. The church is the same way. When you go to the church, you go up in there looking for healing. Whatever you need, whatever is surgeries you need in your life, you're asking God to help you with. You understand? So when you go up in there, just like when you go to the hospital, you're looking to see the doctor. Don't go up in there looking for nobody but a doctor. You hear me? So when you go to, you ain't understanding what I'm saying. When you go to the hospital, you go in there looking for a doctor. So all I'm telling you is that when you go to church, you better go up in there looking for God, because anything else is up in there. Do you understand me? Let me make it a little clearer for you. Just like people go to the ICU in the emergency room, there are all these little cliques and little things in the hospital. There are all them little cliques in the church. That's why the liars can find the liars. The whoremongers can find the whoremongers. It's already up in there. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
That's why when you go up in there, you better have your eyes on God and nothing else. Do you understand?
I do understand.
So are you going to get yourself hurt, honey? Keep your eye on God and you won't make no mistakes. What's wrong with a lot of people? They don't say stuff out loud so they can hear it. You need to hear stuff said out loud, honey. You can't pray that a married man. God does things in decency and in order. God don't hook you up with somebody that's already hooked up. And let me tell you, you got to be careful with them people, honey, that you meet that it's already married, and I don't care if it's a woman, a man, whatever. If you meet somebody that's in a relationship, married all together, you got to be careful with them, because they are thieves and they don't even know it.
Thieves?
They are thieves. They have come to steal the best thing that God has given you, your youth. Because see, you'll be hooked up in a relationship with them for 15, 20 years and realize you missed the best days of your life. Because see, when you're in your 20s, you think that's cute. Oh yeah, he married, but it's all right. I got my list. And he got everything I need on my list. He's tall, he's handsome, he make this much money. We're going to get us a nice house in the suburb. We finna live in Buckhead, then we're in Alpharetta. We're going to go over here. You know, you have your list, your 5-page list. When you're in your 20s. You get in your 30s, you start playing scratch off with that list. By the time you get to them 40s and 50s, that 5-page list has become 5 words. Just to let him be breathing.
That's fine.
Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you hear what I'm telling you? You got to understand that, honey. You can't let people, like ain't nothing sadder to me than to see a 50-year-old woman in the club. Down at the end of the bar with the same dress on that the 20-year-old got on at the other end of the bar. Talk about I still got it. No, you don't. Time to go home, honey. Go home. But look, I don't judge her. Because somebody stole something from her and she's trying to get it back. Somebody stole the best years of her life and she's still trying to hold on to it. Do you understand?
Yes, yes.
That's why you can't let people steal stuff from you, honey. Them people are thieves. You got to do better than that in your own life. You look at your life sometime and you look like you got more years behind you than you have in front of you. And it's a scary time, and a lot of folk go through it. More women go through it than men, where they get to the point where they realize they don't have everything they have. They don't have the love that they wanted. They're not married yet. But they got money, got the house, got the career, got all that stuff, but they don't have the love. And that's a scary place to find yourself, especially when you're looking at getting older. But you have to understand something. Sometimes being alone does not necessarily mean being lonely. You hear me? And you have to learn how to be by yourself. And sometimes God will leave you by yourself until you learn how to be by yourself. Because see, if you ain't ready to be by yourself, then people will really make a fool out of you. Because if you don't know how to be alone, people will be able to run any kind of game on you they want. Because they can threaten you by walking out the door.
Right.
If you don't do this, I'ma leave. If you don't deal with this, I'ma leave. You understand?
I understand.
And there are a lot of people that's a lot of women is like, okay, well, please don't leave. To the hell with that. You better not tell me you leave because I would have packed before you get leak out of your mouth. Wow. There'll be a cab outside waiting on you. Do you hear me? Right. I got the gift of goodbye, honey. I will pack you the hell up so quick you want your head to spin. Do you hear what I'm telling you?
I hear what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying to you. You got to understand it because you can't, all these lists and all this stuff about being lonely, got to have this, like my aunt. I'm going to tell you, this is a true story. My aunt was in love with this man, in love with the man. He was perfect, on her list, everything. But he wasn't no good for her. But there was another man she never paid any attention to because he wasn't on the list. Everything about the list was wrong with him. The list say tall, he was short. The list say handsome, he was... The list say thick, he was fat. And she ain't paid no attention to him, but the man loved her with the purest love. She didn't even know how much he loved her. And he would just do things for her. She had 4 boys she was raising by herself, going to work every day and night. And he was watch her. When it was raining, he'd go pick up because she didn't have a car. He went and bought a car, a little ragged car, and left it at the house one day. She was so happy to have that car. She thought it got the best gas mileage in the world. She didn't know he would come in the middle of the night and just fill it up for her. Aww. Little things like that. She'd work all day, he'd rub her feet. This man loved her purely. The man that she was in love with kept breaking her heart. One night she got tired of saying, I ain't finna deal with that no more. And her and that man spent some time, had a beautiful night. She fell in love with him.
Oh.
7 years he chased her. He died the next year.
Oh.
Wasted all of that time. Do you understand how people come to steal things from you? Wasted all that time being hooked up with some fool and missed the best man of her life. To this day, she'll tell you that was the best man of my life. Do you understand?
Wow. Yes, that's sad.
Yeah, but it's all right, honey. That's why you got to wait on God. See, you got to give up them lists and all of that stuff. You know, I know they didn't think like a man to say make your list, but I don't believe you ought to have a list. You understand? So you got to get to a point where you just say, you know what? Let me explain something to you. Whatever you got for me, God, I'm going to take it. Because sometimes love don't come the way you want it to come. Let me talk to you about this universe thing, because I just started hearing about this universe stuff about 20 years ago. Before that, I ain't never heard nothing about this universe. This thing is scaring me, because people take the Bible, and they mix it up with a little this and a little that, and then they mix up this and mix up that. Before you know it, you all confused. They got Christians walking around talking about the universe all mixed up with all this stuff. Don't even know that they're on a whole nother path. Don't even know that you are off base with what the Bible say because you over there talking about the universe and all this other stuff. Because I don't understand. I ain't read nowhere where the universe was nailed to a cross. And I don't know why you would sit around worshiping the universe when you can worship the creator of the universe. Do you hear me? That's all I'm saying to you, honey.
I understand.
You hear me? Go back to what you know. Go back to what worked for your mama and your grandmama and great-granddad and grandpa. That was Jesus. They was up all night calling on the name of Jesus, walking the floor, praying for you, laying hands on you in the middle of the night. When you got sick, they was calling on Jesus. They had the prayer meetings in the house. There ain't nothing wrong with that name. It still works. He ain't gotten away from us. We getting away from him. Do you hear what I'm telling you? So you got to get rid of that, honey. You got to go back to church. You got to go back to what you know. You got to go back to your roots. Go back to church.
She wasn't selfish.
She had to be selfish.
No, she wasn't selfish at all.
You mean this woman would give of herself to other people?
Yes, all the time.
Well, y'all must not have had no good memories at all, not one.
Yes, we did. We had great memories.
And she was a good woman?
Yes.
When she was in the right mind, she was a good woman and she wasn't selfish and all that other stuff?
Yes.
Huh. I thought she was selfish as hell.
Why?
Because of you?
Me?
Yeah. Because you sit here 10, 12 hours a day. Only a selfish person would want you sitting here all this time like this, honey. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you?
Yeah.
This woman, hear me good when I say this. If this was me, I would not want my daughter sitting here all this time. You got children to raise. You got a whole life to live. And anybody who loved you would not want you doing this to yourself.
I know, but it's hard.
I understand it, but you know what's unfair? For you to reduce her life to this moment. You looking at the end, honey, you got to remember the whole total life. Got to remember all the joy and all the peace, and you got to give each one of them the same amount of energy. You understand? You can't just reduce it to this moment. This woman, if she wasn't selfish, she wouldn't want that. I know I wouldn't want Cora to sit here. First of all, Cora ain't finna sit here all this time like this. Unless there's a snack machine up under that bed, Cora ain't finna do that. It's good to see you smiling, honey.
Thank you.
But you got to learn how to start to let go.
How do I let go?
Well, you already started, and I tell you how. You put her in a nice place where people can take care, and they take good care of her here. I'd watch them, understand? Mm-hmm. But you got to learn how to start to let go, little by little. That's how you do it, bit by bit. Instead of staying 10 hours one day, maybe you'll stay 9. Okay. You know, and then you might relapse and come 12. So you go back and forth when you're going through this kind of stuff. You just have to go with it. But you got children to raise and a life to live, and I'm sure this woman would not want this, honey. Let go bit by bit. Maybe one day you'll skip a whole day. Then you find it easier to do. You hear me?
I hear you.
But it's good she's loved. A lot of folk don't have people to love them when they get to this part in their life. So it's good that she loves them, good you here for her. That don't mean that you don't love her because you ain't here. You hear me?
I hear you.
Forgive yourself, honey. You keep talking about, I want this, I want, I. That's about you. That ain't about her. What's going on with this man and your mama?
No, ma'am. I just know he wasn't there.
Wasn't there for you. This what you want? You, stand up. This what you want?
No.
This
ma'am.
what you want?
No, ma'am.
This boy need to be with his baby. And you having trouble with that woman that won't even talk to her, but you and that baby mama are adults. Act like y'all got some damn sense. Call each other and have a conversation so that this man can spend time with his child. Every man need to be with their child. Do you understand? That ain't got nothing to do with you. Don't want that child growing up because you can't be adult enough to let him spend some time with his daddy. You don't want him growing up with that on his mind thinking his daddy didn't want him because of you. Do you understand? It's unfair for him to have to make a choice between you and his child. That's all I'm going to say to you. That's all I got to say about that. Now you. This man wasn't there for you?
No.
Never?
Never.
Your mama raised you?
Yes, she did.
How's your life?
My life is great.
You got a good job?
I have a great job.
Got a great job. Oh, you married?
Yes, ma'am, I am, and I have a son.
Yeah, you good father?
I'm a great father.
Good husband?
And a great husband.
So your mom was good to you?
She was great.
Took you to church?
Yes, ma'am, she did.
You saved?
Yes, I am.
Why you mad? I don't know. You can see there's a little scripture in the Bible that say all things work together for the good of them that love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. You know what that means? Everything that you've been through will work together for your good. Everything. If you let it. Everything will work together for your good if you call and love the Lord. Do you hear what I'm telling you? Do you hear what I'm saying to you, son? Everything. You ever thought maybe this man wasn't supposed to be there? If he had been in your life, you might have turned out to be somebody else. But because he wasn't, look how you turned out. God had you covered, son. This is what I want you to understand. Ain't no sense of you sitting around here being mad. This man taught you everything you needed to know. You know how he taught you? In reverse. You do the opposite of what he did and you have your answers. Do you hear what the hell I'm saying? And you should have been there. You should have been there. See, a lot of times you go out there, you're doing all that hoeing around and playing around, doing this and doing that, and then you grow up and you get old and you're wondering why you're there by yourself because you wasn't there for your child. Now you got one foot in the grave and you're trying to make some peace. And it's up to him whether he want to give you the peace or not. But son, let me tell you something. If you want to get even with this man, be nice to him. I'm telling you, if you really want to mess somebody up that done did you wrong, be nice to them. Show them some kindness. They don't know how to handle it. It's like putting hot coals on their head. They can't sleep at night. Do you hear me? It's going to be all right. Talk to this man, because you'll be a fool if you don't. You spend some time with him. He might have something he can share with you. Don't give him no money, but he might have something he can share with you. Do you hear me? Something that he can share with you that will help you in the future. Your child might end up getting older and needing some kind of surgery or something, and you ain't even talk to this man. He got the answer because something was going on with his father and father before him, and they can tell you about it because something he might know. Do you hear me? You owe it to yourself to at least have the conversation with the man.
What?
I'm sorry, Mama, but no, I'm not praying about this. No.
Baby, this is not the time to stop praying. This is when you buckle down and pray harder.
Why? Tell me why, Mama, because he hasn't answered any of my prayers, so why?
What are you talking about?
I prayed for God to fix my marriage. I prayed for God to put me in a better position. Mama, I have prayed, and I have prayed, and I have prayed, and I have prayed.
Darlene, sweetheart, listen. Baby, just because God didn't give you what you want, doesn't mean he hadn't given you everything you needed.
Come here, girl, let me talk to you. You reminded me of my next door neighbor. She had this dog in the backyard, and the dog had a little pole and a chain on it, right? And every time she go out there in the morning, she feed the dog, and the dog had just enough chain to get over there to the food and the water. You understand? And every time she go to work, a squirrel come in the yard, that dog go running around that pole. And every time he ran around, the chain got shorter and shorter. Cat come in the yard, he running. Children passing by the fence, he running around. Pretty soon, in the middle of the day, he's so stuck to the pole because he don't know how to go back the other way to get himself untied. And he's sitting there just crying because he can't get over there to what he needs because he didn't spend so much energy on that over there. That's what you remind me of.
So what you're saying is that I'm
saying you
running.
can't learn nothing with your mouth open. Shut the hell up and listen. That chain and that pole represents your ex, and every time you do something, you're running over there to him, putting all your energy on, just more and more energy, round and round, putting all that energy on him. Pretty soon you put so much energy on him, you ain't got the energy to deal with the good man that God to put in your life because you're over there dealing with that foolishness. Baby, anything that's dead in your life ought to be buried. What the hell you keep looking back for? I don't understand people being in a relationship, keep looking back like this, see what the other person's doing. What the hell you doing that for? Focus on what you got. Do you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Baby, listen, in relationships, you only gonna get 80% of what you need. That's it. If you get 80, you're doing great. You understand? If you get 100, you have married Jesus, so you're only gonna get about 80. Well, the problem is that 80%, baby. See, you had that 80%, and you be looking at it and you think, ooh, this is great, but then you realize you're missing 20. And you want that 20 so bad. Then somebody come along, offer 20, and you leave the 80. Then you realize, hell, I left 80 to be with damn 20. You understand?
Yes.
You don't remember nothing else I say, baby. Remember this. There is a reason that the rear view mirror is smaller than the windshield.
I'm scared.
Stop right there. That's what it is, baby. You're scared. I get it. Get your heart broke, don't want to love nobody else because you get scared. But baby, if somebody break your heart and you too scared to love anybody else, then you have given that person permission to change your entire destiny. Baby, love ain't easy, but it's worth it. Get out there and love somebody. Get your heart broke, have the courage to go love somebody else. That person break your heart, have the courage to go love somebody else. That person break your heart too, get the courage to go love somebody else. Keep getting your heart broke, pretty soon you're gonna run up on a heart surgeon who know how to fix all them breaks. I get it, baby. Get your heart broke, start building all them walls and keep yourself safe. But baby, when you building walls, you lock yourself in and lock everybody else out. And let me tell you something about a good mother. This is what a good mother does, or a good father. First thing they do when they find out they're having a child, they put their life on hold. They start sacrificing because everything is about the child. Whatever they got extra, go to the child. Whatever, even sometimes they don't even have it, they have to go to the child. You sacrifice your life. You don't do half the things you want to do because everything revolves around the baby. You understand? So you sacrifice all through that, all through middle school, all through high school, all the way up to college. There you are sacrificing all that time. So by the time, about 18, 20 years of sacrificing for that child's old enough to take care of himself, you tired of all that damn sacrificing. You ready to go back and have a good time here, you still young enough to shake your thing. You understand? That's what your mama trying to do, baby. She trying to catch up on all them years she lost because of what she was doing for you. You can't be mad about that, baby. When somebody getting a chance to get themselves together after they sacrificed for you, you hear what I'm telling you?
Yes, ma'am.
She gonna be all right. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Your mama gonna be all right. Stop being so hard on your mom, babe. I know a lot of people hard on their parents, and I was the same way. I was mad at her. You should have did this, and you should have known better. You should have did it, and you did this. My mama had me when she was 18 years old. Family was toxic. Everything's toxic. I didn't want to be around none of them because everything's so toxic. You understand? But then I realized something one day. I judged them so hard until I got to be 40. Then I look back on my life and I realized they did way better in the situations they was in than I ever could have did with what they was dealing with. You understand?
Yes,
see, they didn't make it right what they did, but it helped me get on the path to be able to forgive them. You understand? When you realize that your parents went through some things before you got here, that'll let you at least get on the path to forgiveness. But baby, let me tell you something about forgiveness. It's a powerful thing. Forgiveness is not for the other person. Forgiveness is for you. I'm telling you right now, if you holding all the stuff and bitterness and anger and you can't even work your way through it, baby, you are destroying yourself. Them people living their life. Because if they're miserable in hell, they're going to stay in miserable in hell. That's where they want to be. If you want to be happy and joyous, you got to let all that stuff go, baby. Do you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
You ain't got to talk to them, ain't got to have no conversation with them. But listen, I forgive you, I'm moving on. I can't be around you because you're too toxic and you bring me down. I can't be around that kind of poison. Baby, you take wings and you dip them in acid, they can't fly. So anybody in your life that's full of acid, get them the hell away from around you. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Stop running after people that don't want you. That's a clear sign of low self-esteem. Do you hear me? I get it, baby. You better get that mirror and love everything God created. And until you do, you always gonna have some issues. Do you hear what I'm telling you?
Yes, ma'am.
And I get it, your daddy wasn't there treating this one like the golden child and treating you like trash. Didn't I tell you that? That's why I tell these fathers, get in your children's life so that they will know what the love of a man feels like. So when they get out there in the world, can't nobody run no damn game on them because they know, no, you can't treat me like that because my daddy showed me what real love is. No, you can't talk to me like that because my daddy didn't do that to my mama. My daddy never did it to me. You understand? That's why I didn't be like, nah, dear, you don't understand. Me and the baby mama don't get along here. Y'all got along for them 12 seconds to lay there and get pregnant, didn't you? I can't stand no grown-ass people can't talk to each other, just cussing and screaming at each other, and they got a child between the two of them. They can't stand each other. Well, these are the circumstances you don't understand. I'm not talking about none of that. Baby, you got to be mature enough or grown enough to say, you know what? I got to make sure this baby's all right. So this is what we need to do. We need to support this child. Whatever we need to do, we're going to support this child, okay? We're going to take it to a basketball game. Great. I'll meet you at the basketball game. Okay, baby, like, wait, y'all going to sit together? Yeah, we sit together. Go on and play, baby. We watching. Y'all sit there watching. Wow, he sucks, but we're watching him play. After it's over, y'all come home, say, okay, tell your daddy good night, get a hug. Okay, go on upstairs. So, I love you, love you. Then you turn to him and say, look at bastard. It took all I had to get through this night. We're going to try to do this once a month, but I promise you, I'm getting ready to stab you 20 times if you don't get the hell up out of this house. Baby, there's none the wiser. Think y'all having a good time, loving each other. You understand? Fool your children. They're young. They don't know no better. Don't marry nobody until you've seen them in 4 seasons.
4 seasons?
Yes, I need to see you in summer, spring, winter, and fall. I want to see you. I want to see how you treat people when you're mad. I want to see how you act when you're broke. I want to see all that. And then if somebody did something to you and you get a chance to get even, I want to watch you, see what you do. Because if I ever make you mad, I got to see what you did to them. Because, baby, let me tell you something. People show you who they are every day. You just have to believe them. And take your time, baby. Take your time to get married. That's why so many people get divorced, because they only saying I do to one person.
Ain't that what you're supposed to do, Madea?
No, baby. If you want your marriage to last, when you say I do that first time, you have to commit to at least 4 or 5 different people.
What? What are you talking about?
Maybe you don't understand what I'm saying. Listen, every 7 to 15 years, the person that you with, you're going to become somebody else. That's just life. People evolve. They change. They become somebody else. They get older. Their bodies change, everything. So every 7 to 15 years, you're going to be with somebody else. See, the problem is people only saying I do for the first 7 to 15. So when that new person show up, they don't know what the hell to do, so they want a divorce. That's why so many people renew their vows, because they knew who they married the first time, ain't who they married to right now. To get you some good memories and put them all around your house. Do you understand? Have you some good memories. That's because marriage is hard. And I see people get up, they just give up real quick. Oh, no, I can't take this anymore. It's been 7 years of my life. 7 years ain't no long damn time. Baby, because I know sometimes when people change, sometimes you have to wait for people to grow up. And just over that hump is the best time of your life. People will become somebody else and blow your mind.
Yeah.
Personally that you thought that you're going through all this hell with in your relationship right now, if you don't give up, you work a little bit harder, y'all work together. Got to make sure y'all both working together. And then you get past that and your life will be so wonderful. And get you some memories, good memories, yeah. In my house,
This is true. I'm about to tell you this is true right now.
in my house, I have pictures all over of good memories. That's all over, thousands of pictures all over the house. You can't go in the room without seeing 20 pictures of something that remind you of some good times. You know what I'm saying? Because they say a picture's worth 1,000 words, right? Where the Bible also says that God was the Word, in the beginning was the Word. So if a picture worth 1,000 words and He was the Word, then I got the words all over my house to keep me encouraged and hopeful. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me see all the independent women taking care of themselves, don't need no man. Got your cheering under control, making your money, get your own check every 2 weeks. Got a 401k plan. Let me talk to you.
Take some time for yourself, because you never know. There might be somebody there just waiting for you, and waiting for you to give them the word. So take some time for yourself. Get love, be loved, share love.